All of you giving a thumbs up, just like the way how it works on Zoom. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sounds really better. My name is Mazahir, and I welcome all of you to meeting number 29 of Whitefield Toastmaster. Let me officially open the meeting. Please show the gallery. Is there anybody who's attending our meeting for the first time as a guest? Do we have any first-timer guest available? Nice. May I request each one of you to look around, see if there's anybody who you know. And I'll tell you the effect that it has. When you look at somebody else, you tend to smile. Do it again. Look around. You were already smiling. Meeting number 29 is special for me. Monsoon memories. The first thing that comes in my mind the moment I think about Monsoon is this song by Jagjeet Singh that says, "ये दौलत भी ले लो, ये शौहरत भी ले लो, भले छीन लो मुझसे मेरी जवानी, मगर मुझको लौटा दो वो बचपन का सावन, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी." So for those who did not understand this, I can tell you it's a song that talks about, return all those childhood memories to me. The one that I used to cherish a lot, especially during the rain. There will be a boat made of paper that we used to do it on our own. Most of it from our school textbook only, maybe the whole year. And then we will try to put it. And sometimes you can even do a race with the other partner of yours, maybe a friend of yours, and see which one is going to go furthest of possible. Sometimes it will crash on the way. There will be a laugh, you'll try to fix it again or create a new one. But those are the memories that comes in my head. There's a lot that our master of ceremony will have it for you. And I'm sure this person will help you relive those memories that we cherished during our childhood. Toastmaster meeting, and specific to Whitefield Toastmaster, I would like to let you all know that we started our club in November 2022. It's approximately 8 months that we are in this journey, and we are definitely having a great time. When we started our club, we had 23 members. Now we proudly announce that we are 43 in number. So it's a huge growth. Thank you so much for the moment of applause that gave me time to think what I'm going to say next. But I'm humble and I'm thankful to each one of you. It's because every time a single person joins the club, that brings a memory. Memory what makes us all. Experience is what makes us all. And for that experience that you want to gain at this platform of Toastmaster, whether it is related to communication or leadership, we have approximately 350,000 plus clubs worldwide. If I can tell you, a part of Bangalore and North Karnataka has 150 plus clubs. We are one among them. There's a huge community out there who wants to improve those skills. Like-minded people from such community come together and brings a club. And so you are. Whether you're a member of our club or guest, our huge respect and appreciation and gratitude to all of you for joining us. Now for our club, there are a couple of announcements and a very special one that I have towards the end of the meeting. I will also be announcing the meeting winners towards the end of the meeting through the vote which will be provided. There is a voting link QR code which has been posted over here. In case if you can't reach it, don't worry, it will be provided to you on your WhatsApp group also. Please remember people who are delivering their speeches or taking up a role, because you will have an option to vote for them. We request you not to have any biases. There will be a QR code which will be passed on to you for the attendance as well. Whether you are a member or a guest, if you wish to mark your attendance, which is a mandate, please do so. Also, there is an important aspect in the form that talks about, would you be interested to take up a role in next meeting? It's always a great pleasure for anybody to come on the stage and deliver. So we'll request you to encourage you to do so. Now, to take this meeting forward, in any bigger ceremony or even a smallest one possible, there is this one person who takes the entire show on their shoulder. Let me introduce somebody who will be called the Postmaster of the Day for today's meeting, and otherwise Master of Ceremony. She is originally from Uttarakhand, However, brought up in Maharashtra, professionally she works as an account manager for a market research organization. She's a plant parent and also loves to cook and paint. To take this meeting together, would request Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nidhi, to come forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazahir, for a wonderful introduction. So before we start, I want all of you to enjoy this melody. Really sorry, really sorry. Okay. So I hope the sound of rain is reminiscent of many memories, maybe bittersweet, that we have about monsoon. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Nidhi and I'll be the Toastmaster of the day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So today's theme is monsoon memories. And hence, I would like all of you to share the first thing which comes to your mind when you think about rain or monsoon. Any one of you? Yes.
Cons.
Cons.
Catching fish.
Catching fish.
Frogs and snakes.
Frogs and snakes. Tea.
Just getting wet in the rain.
Yeah. Getting drenched in the rain.
Smell of soil.
Smell of soil. Yeah.
Working from home.
Working from home. I think after COVID, that's like something that we do every day.
Bangalore traffic.
Bangalore traffic. Again, that is, I think, it's a routine for us. Yes.
Smell of
Soil. Yeah. So, as we say that monsoon is a season which is inclusive of all the emotions. Maybe it is happiness, sadness, excitement, fear, or also hope. And it is also a season where we have petrichor in the air, the greenery around us, and also the frightening thunderstorms. Right? So, again, it is the time of the year when we meet the farmer's friend. Can you tell me who's the farmer's friend? Any guesses?
Snake.
Yeah, the earthworms. So we meet the earthworms and we also meet the snails, right? So talking about memories of monsoon, one of the fondest memories that I have about monsoon was, it goes back in 2006 when I was 11 or 12 years old, and we used to live in a small cantonment called Diglali near Nasik in Maharashtra. And there was a small tunnel near my house which used to get a little flooded during monsoons. So it was very difficult to us to cross that tunnel every day to go to school. But my very motivated mother was determined to send her daughters to school every day. So what she used to do is, she used to carry her shoes in a separate bag, carry me and my little sister in her arms, and cross that tunnel which had water till knees. Once we reach on the other side, she would drop us on the, she used to make us on the, make a stand on the other side, which was not that wet. Then she would wipe our feet with her sari pallu and then put on the dried socks and shoes and then send us to school. At that time, I was not at all happy with my mother's enthusiasm to send us to school. But now when I stand in front of all of you, I just have gratitude in my heart for my mother to making me what I am today. So thanks to my mom. And as the Toastmaster of the day now, I would like to explain the structure of today's meeting. So today, unlike other meetings, we'll just have 2 rounds. The first round will be of the prepared speeches, where our speakers will come on the dais and deliver speeches as per the parts and the projects they have selected. Followed by that, we will have round number 2, which is the evaluation round, where the delivered speech will be evaluated. Along with that, the conduct of the meeting will be evaluated by our general evaluator. Please note that today will not have a table topic session because we have planned for a moment of truth session, which will be a feedback session of the club, and post that we have the induction of the new members who have joined the club. So with this, I would like to call upon our general evaluator for today's meeting. He is an ambitious neophile. He loves adventure and travel. He works as a partnership and alliance manager with one of the supply chain tech companies, and he loves rain. So what he does, he likes to walk on the roads when it's drizzling, and when he's not doing that, he just loves enjoying some hot snacks during monsoon. So here I welcome our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Piyush.
Hey guys, hope I'm audible. A warm good morning to all of you, and thanks for being here. It's a huge audience and I love to see that. So as a
Louder.
audible now?
Yeah.
So greetings. So as a general evaluator, my role today is to evaluate the speeches and evaluate all the do's and don't do's in the current meeting. So that's the part of my role, and yeah, so I will take the I will evaluate each and every participant of today's meeting, and I will share my feedback at the end of a meeting. So that's the role. So with that I want to call the next participant of today's meeting. So with that, I would like to call timer, Mr. Bhima, to be on the stage and have some short introduction.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my dear Toastmaster and fellow Toastmaster and guests. As a timer, I will time the prepared speaker and the evaluation for today's session. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green card and yellow card and the red card, which denote specific times remaining. For prepared speaker should be in 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will be showing the green card. At the 6 minute, I will be showing the yellow card, and at the 7 minute, I will show the red card. So the speaker will get extra 30 seconds for wrap up their speech. For evaluation, should be in 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will show the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will show the red card. So the evaluator will get extra 30 seconds for wrap up the evaluation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Now I will call our next participant, our age counter, our counter, Toastmaster. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good morning.
My name is Revati. As a R counter, I will be recording unnecessary sounds used by speakers and evaluators. These include crutch sounds like filler words like but, so, okay, filler phrases, you know, so, and overlong pauses. In our speeches, we tend to use these words or sounds to get more time for thinking or to emphasize something we are talking. But overuse of these crutch words and filler sounds make our speech annoying for listeners and hence decrease the value of the speech. So as our counter, I will help the speakers to record the usage of these words and sounds, to become aware of them and to minimize them in their future speeches. I will be presenting my counter report at the end of the meeting once called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you all.
After that, I want to call our next participant, our grammarian for today's session, Toastmaster Kausika. Toastmaster Kausika.
Thank you, Professor Piyush. I am Kaushika. I will be the grammarian for today. I have shared the word of the day and I would encourage each one of you to use it in your speeches. So today the word of the day is reminiscent, and it means tending to remind one of something. So I'll give you an example. The sight of children playing in the rain was reminiscent of my childhood. So it reminds you of something. And about grammar in English, it can make your speech magical, or whatever you say or convey, or even in your daily conversations, it could enhance your speech. I would read out a poetry from one of my relatives, which could make something so mundane look so magical. I just got it here. It's about yawn. So we all yawn. Okay. So this is a poem on yawn. There is nothing quite like the yawn in the late eve or early morn. My greedy lungs fully inflate. Mouth opens like a garage gate. Arms and legs stretch free of my will. Tightly clenched fists holding time still. From deep down, a mighty roar rises. In total bliss, every thought freezes. But too soon, the moment is gone. There is nothing quite like the yawn. So any small thing, however boring it can be, however mundane it can be, you can add magic to it. So you can create it. So it's important to use, grammar is important. I would encourage you all to use the word of the day. And also as a grammarian, I would
I would be monitoring each of your speeches and checking for good and bad usages of the language. Thank you.
Thanks, Constable. Thanks for the weight and thanks for explaining to it to all the audience. So with that, I am handing over this to take it forward to our Toastmaster, our TMOD of today's session, Toastmaster meeting.
Thank you, Piyush. So let's start with the first round of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches. So our first speaker of the day will be attempting his L1PP speech, and to evaluate this, we have Toastmaster Atul. Toastmaster Atul is an IIT Kharagpur graduate, and he's the most active speaker that I have seen since I joined the club. So over to you, Toastmaster Atul.
So for me, Monsoon is reminiscent of bringing back old memories, and that old memory for me is curling up inside the bed, reading a good book, and watching the rain pour down on the window. And I often wonder what is the science behind it? How is it able to trigger back old memories? And I think the science lies in the fact that it has a rhythm. Be it light drizzles or heavy downpour, the rainfall has a rhythm. Coming on to the speaker for today, the speaker would be delivering his album speech, and for that, the speaker would be evaluated. The purpose of his speech is to be evaluated either on vocal variety or body language. And I have asked him whether he would be like to be evaluated on both the fronts, whether he would. So he agrees to be evaluated on both the fronts, and I will be doing this. Back to you.
So our first speaker is from Kolkata, and he works as a SAP product manager with Ericsson Global. He lives in Bangalore with his wife and a daughter, while his family is enjoying the traditional way of living with a joint family back in West Bengal. So apart from this, our speaker doesn't like to travel, but he does like watching Netflix documentaries. So here I present the first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Mukul. Toastmaster Mukul, food wastage, a global challenge. Food wastage, a global challenge, Toastmaster Mukul.
Can I just request you to pause the recording?
Mr. Mukul, food wastage, a global challenge. Food wastage, a global challenge, Toastmaster Mukul.
Thank you. It's around 8:30 p.m. Usually our dinner time. So I was watching TV while I was also listening the discussion with my daughter Charvi and her mom regarding the dinner. Mom told, Charvi, your dinner is ready. Charvi told, okay, what do you have, mom, today? Veg pasta. Sit. I don't like veg pasta, mom, you know. Mom told, what should you do now? Trash it. Charvi told, okay, I'll have for today, but don't make in future because I don't like. I hope this is one of the scene in most of our families. And sometimes when we do not like food, we just trash it. Dear Toastmasters and guests, food waste is a global challenge now.
and it has a profound impact to our environment, to our society, and to our economy. According to UN mean I am referring United Nations Food Waste Index Report 2021, people generally waste food 1 billion tons in a year. Yes, you heard correctly. 1 billion ton. What does it mean? It means a lot. It means people globally produce the food, 1/3 is lost or waste. So, this much of waste has a far-reaching impact in terms of environment, in terms of exacerbating hunger and poverty, and also cause for greenhouse gas emission. Since childhood, I was always have a thought process that food waste is, people is responsible only for the food waste. However, I was just going through some of those articles. I saw many other reasons globally for the food waste. For example, the supermarket or the superstore, right? They do lot of overstocking of food. What happens is after some days, those are expired, so it's gone in waste. Similarly, agricultural practices. We are talking about today's monsoon. Monsoon could be a reason for food waste in terms of agriculture. It might not give a quality outcome of the crops or the food, which can be marked as a waste in terms of quality. Transportation challenge, or I would say supply chain management. This is a global issue all over the world. Maybe in the third country we have a bigger problem in terms of supply chain. Inadequate storage, mishandling of transport, right? Which also a big reason for our food waste. Now, this much of food waste that we are doing, what is the impact in environment? You know, whenever food is getting waste, after some times, it will start producing methane. And you know, methane is one of the potent greenhouse gas which is responsible for our climate change. While handling the food or transporting the food, you also need a natural resources to be involved. For example, land for storage. You need a water for cleaning. So we are basically giving a strain which is directly proportionate to our food waste, to our natural resources like water and land. It also impacts our biodiversity. So now, in terms of, there are multifaceted solutions that we can adopt. For example, I still see many people are not aware of food waste, and still, if some person is not like the food, okay, just waste it. So, as an individual level, people should take a oath that I am not going to waste any food. That is one of the options. Second option could be, we are in a technology world now. Everything and each and everything is driven through technology. So we can use innovative technologies to reduce the supply chain, or not reduce, I should say, properly use the supply chain so that we can reduce the impact of food waste. Third would be a very important point that I am going to emphasize is the donation of food. At least wasted food which is eatable, if we can transfer it to the people who really need it. I know at the same time we are wasting a food, However, many people are on hunger. Government can take some initiative to promote the food waste. I know some of the organization you can see in the canteen there is a food waste index is there, but still it is not a more of a corporate level, but it has to be implemented on lower level as well in terms of promotion. So we understand food waste is a critical global issue and it has a profound implication to our economy, to our society and to our economy. Right? So by involvement of individual, by involvement of business, by involvement of government, we can drastically reduce the food waste using awareness, using optimization of transport management, innovative technologies. We can reduce the overall impact of environment in our society so that our generation can build a good ecosystem on food waste. Thank you very much and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mukul, for that knowledgeable speech on wastage of food. So, I'm a person who doesn't believe in wasting food. I try to eat if it is getting wasted. So personally, I follow 2 tips to avoid wastage of food. First is that you should know the proportion of your meals and then accordingly prepare them and try to make like fresh food for each of the meals so that the wastage is lesser. And the second tip is if you are eating at a buffet or at a wedding, you can take n number of servings, right? So it makes no point in just filling up the plate in the first serving and then throwing up the extra food that you don't want to eat. So these are the 2 tips which I personally follow at an individual level. So now let's move on to the second speech. Our second speaker today will be attempting his L2B3 speech, and to evaluate that we have Toastmaster Radha. So Radha is someone who's exploring and she's trying to find the best version of herself. She definitely loves rains, but I don't think she loves getting drenched in rains. So she loves preparing hot bhajiyas at home and loves enjoying it with her family. So here I welcome Toastmaster Radha.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
A special one to you, speaker to Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay is attempting his level 2 from level 2 project 3 from Pathway Presentation Mastery. The objectives for the same are is for Akshay to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. Second, to share some aspects of a previous experience as a prodigy. And I would like to give an additional objective as well, and that is be aware of your stage movement. Timer, please note the time allotted to him is 5 to 7 minutes. Recollect Toastmaster Akshay. Over to you, Toastmaster. Great.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radha. So our second speaker for today is an aerospace engineer who hails from UP, and he loves playing badminton and loves to swim. He is also cultivating a new habit of reading recently. And about rains, he feels that there's nothing like rains. He loves getting drenched in the rains once in a while, and when he's not doing that, he just loves to sit back at home and enjoy the rain which is pouring outside. So I welcome Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Akshay, charioteer. Charioteer, Toastmaster Akshay.
You know what they say about ignorance? It's the enemy even of its owner. Good morning to distinguished guests, my fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When I was in 7th standard, I used to hate my tuition teacher like anything. She was a great reminiscent of the Interpol list of criminals. For me, she should top that list. There was not a single day when I have not cursed her for the pain she was inflicting on me. The pain of writing the tables from 2 to 20 every day. The pain of not letting us go home till the entire syllabus is covered before the exams. The pain of not listening to even one of our excuses. The pain which was never ending. One fine day, I was in school, enjoying my super important gossips as a backbencher, and my school maths teacher noticed this thing, and she decided to teach me the lesson in front of the entire class. She screamed in front of the entire class, "Akshay, stand up!" I was terrified. I felt that my rustication moment was near. She shooted a question. Narrate the table of 19. Come on. I was not expecting a piece of cake. Ladies and gentlemen, I narrated the entire table within less than 1 minute. Hashtag proud backbencher movement. The teacher had a taste of her own medicine. But ladies and gentlemen, let me grab your attention here and accept the fact that the recipe of that medicine was not prepared by me. It was my tuition teacher back there who made my mathematics foundation very solid. It was my ignorance which was not allowing me to accept the reality. From that day onwards, I gave her the designation of the first mentor, the first guru of my life. Similarly, ladies and gentlemen, in our life, we will need so many role mentors. On the stage of life, we'll be playing several roles. For example, a role of a child, teenager, professional worker, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, etc. And it is highly possible that you might find yourself disoriented while playing any of these roles. So, if you feel like that you are not doing justice with the responsibilities of the roles you are in, then you have two options. First one, self-talking. I believe 95% of the times we know where we are wrong and how we can correct ourselves. It is just a little bit of effort from our side in the form of self-introspection, little bit of contemplation, that's it. And be aware about the procrastination thing. The second option, talking to your role mentors. Role mentors are the people who have the knowledge of the specific domain. Tell me one thing, Messi has always been a natural footballer. Does he not need a coach? Virat Kohli is one of the best athletes of India, maybe the world. Does he not need a coach? Serena Williams, Sunil Chhetri has always been a flag bearer of Indian football for a long time now. Does he not need a mentor? So ladies and gentlemen, accept this fact that if you want to shine in a particular domain and excel in that field, then you will definitely need a role mentor. In our own Toastmasters International, we have several roles which has to be taken care of while any meeting is going on. Those roles are like respiratory, digestive, excretory or lymphatic systems of the club meeting. If any of these systems is not working properly, then the meeting outcome can be crippled. All the role players are like the backbone. And as you all know, backbone helps us in the proper orientation of the body. If the backbone is not straight, then the meeting will not be in the proper orientation. Leave about these things. All these things I mentioned about lymphatic system or the digestive system, excretory system or the backbone. All this is incomplete without the soul of the club meeting. And the soul of any club meeting are the role mentors. Role mentors are like the charioteer in this competitive world of Toastmasters, who will give you the direction, and if you are brave and sagacious enough to hold on to their hands for a considerable period of time, then it is highly possible that you will reach your ultimate destination in the world of Toastmasters. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. It was really a well summed up speech on the importance of mentors in our life. So with this, now we'll proceed to the second round of our meeting, which will be the evaluations. And for this, I would like to call upon our general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Piyush.
Thanks, Nitin. Hi guys, how's the jokes? So, yeah, as a general evaluator, as I said, I will. Yeah, thanks. As a general evaluator, as I said, I evaluated some part, all the part of the meeting and find something close and something to improve, some improvement area in today's meeting. So kudos to all. We started on time and we have such a big audience today present here, and all cooperate during the speeches, during the speeches of the today's speakers and all the participants. That's a great part for today's meeting. So yeah, something to improve, I can say. We previously have a board here where everything is written and people can see who are the participants and they can remember, recall it. So better to be a board here and a word of a day can be written there, and all the participants' name and the role can be written here. So that's something is missing today, I can say. And the second thing is about the mic. So when it is with me, it was not working, and due to which we need some time to make that mic working. So it takes some time, which can be avoided and which can be tested before the meeting. All the equipments can be tested, and so that a meeting can be a smooth flow of a meeting rather than there should be an interruption in between the meeting. So these are some feedback I have. And apart from this, about the introduction of participants, kudos to Toastmaster Nidhi, who played a very great role and introduced all the Toastmasters so well and in so structured manner today. That's something very interesting that I find today. And about the other opinion, I have with the grammarian Toastmaster Kosika. She introduced a role with a humor added to it, a poetry added to it, which is a good thing to happen, because when you say something mechanical, that sounds mechanical to all and it's not very interactive. Better to add humor when you are speaking, so that's will catch your audience and bind your audience with you. So this is all these are all feedbacks that I have. So that's with me. Thanks.
Thank you so much. For the benefit of both the speaker, I'll be now calling the evaluator number 1 for the speaker number 1. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Atul as an evaluator number 1 for speaker number 1.
Some speeches, they end just after they are delivered. And some speeches, they leave a lingering effect on you after they are delivered. And one such speech was today's Mukul's speech, where he made us all aware of food wastage, which is a global problem right now. One of the very things that I liked about Mukul was that I noticed when he came to the stage, he took a nice deep breath, which shows poise, which shows confidence. And it was maintained throughout his speech. Second thing, the next part that I liked about your speech was that how well he connected with the audience. He did it through a variety of space. And as a speaker, It is our responsibility to lessen the distance between us and the audience. And he did it. And how he did it? He did it through a variety of personal stories. How he started his speech with a personal story of his daughter Charlie, where the story of veg pasta was getting trashed down. That same thing, it was reminiscent of me watching a movie called Garam Masala. Comically, in that also, every time Paresh Rawal used to throw the whole food in the garbage, it used to make me skip a heartbeat. That made me remind that. But every speech, every good speech can be made great. And what you can do to make your speech level up from good to great. My first suggestion would be sub-structuring your speech. While you had a structure to your speech, there were impacts, there were suggestions to the government, to us, everything. But the sub-structuring was very haphazard. It was not structured wherein you were telling me how can we impact in this way, impact in this way, and that way. And that is also, I thought, was lacking in choosing the topic. It was a very big topic, huge topic, food wastage. But whether you want to talk about the impact of food wastage, or whether you want to talk about how the food wastage is generated, rather than how to handle the food wastage, you could have chosen either of two and would have deeply analyzed them. That would have made us all take the whole matter more inside us. My second suggestion would be usage of process. Like we say that every music happens between the notes and a good speech happens between the pauses. When you talked about the impact and that the government needs to formulate the whole process, you could have taken a pause, and that pause would have let us sink that into us. Yet, the conclusion that you did at the end, that actually I found way more convincing and way more accumulating than the whole speech, because it had everything that you already talked about in the speech. I wish you all the best for your future speeches. Back to the
Such a wonderful and detailed evaluation and such a persuasive speech. I think they both deserve a better round of applause. As an evaluator, I'll reserve my comment and feedback for the evaluator as well as the speaker towards the end part of the meeting. Are we all excited to hear how did our speaker did today? Yes?
Yes.
Better yes?
Yes.
May I request Madam Speech Evaluator Toastmaster Radha, please provide her speech evaluation.
If confidence, easiness, hand gestures, voice modulation has a face, it will be known as Toastmaster Action. What a beautiful speech on mentorship. There were so many beautiful aspects I noticed about your speech, Toastmaster Akshay. To start with the first one, your stage presence. Whenever he takes the stage, I can feel the confidence, the calmness in his personality. He's not shy or he's not, he doesn't have any kind of fear, and that is a beautiful start to tell your audience that listen, I'm going to speak and you have to be with me. So I love that thing. Number two, how beautifully he narrated his speech, how beautifully he talked about in a speech format. So he talked about his childhood first, that backbenchers stories, the proud moments, the tables, the conversation between the teacher and the student, and that definitely helped us to connect more. And then he quickly and very easily moved to the Toastmasters journey, how important it is to have role mentors in order to make a Toastmasters meeting a beautiful one. So, highlighting the importance of mentorship in a beautiful way and combining that in an easy format really helped me to understand and be with you. However, I can't be the Krishna for your chariot, but I'll try to be the evaluator Radha and would like to recommend two things. Number one, the stage moment. It was moderate, okay? It was good. But maybe you want to explore, like you had two phases. So you could use this stage and talk about the entire childhood thing. You can go to the next stage, this stage, this side of stage and talk about the Toastmasters stage and take the center stage and conclude the meeting. The second point was, I was expecting the mentorship or the scenarios, the examples from Toastmasters meeting or fraternity a lot. So more examples or scenarios on how mentors help you to become a flawless speaker or flawless leader. I would be very happy and connect more. But all in all, it was a beautiful speech with a beautiful. You had takeaways. You mentioned in order to take any kind of roles and responsibility, you have to have self-talking and talking to your role mentors. So those takeaways were there. Just talking about more about mentorship during your Toastmasters journey or how you will persuade other people to take the mentor's role in Toastmasters would definitely make a memorable speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Muzahir.
Let me tell you honestly, your clap decides the energy. Hold on to your claps right now. It was such a wonderful speech on a protege and a mentor and a lovely evaluation. What do they deserve? Thank you. Now give me some chance to speak as well. Thank you for those claps. Our speaker number 2 and our evaluator number 2 did a wonderful job. Once again, I'll reserve my comment and feedback towards the end of the meeting, offline. Let's hear it from our tag team, and I will call them in the same order: timer, arc counter, grammarian. May I request Toastmaster Bhima to please provide the timers.
For speaker 1, Toastmaster Mukul, for his L1P3 speech, Toastmaster Mukul took 7.26 minutes for completing his speech. And for speaker 2, Toastmaster Akshay, for his L2P3 speech, it took 6 minutes and 6 seconds. For the evaluation, Toastmaster Atul took 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Toastmaster Radha, 2 minutes 46 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I really have to look at each one of you to clap, is it? And I'm a really bad person. I look at people who don't clap, so be remember. Right? Let's move on for that wonderful timers report. May I also request the secretary team to make sure that people who are being qualified are put in the voting form. Please do not vote right now. Hold on to your votes because you are yet to hear the entire report. These role players are putting their heart and soul, each role. Listen to the report and only based on that, please vote for it. Let's hear it from our counter. Over to you, Rinki.
I started with So, our TMOD Nidhi has 3 hours and more than 5 so, but, and 1-2 times, respectively. And our evaluator, general evaluator, Toastmaster Piyush, are more than 5 and so again more than 5, and Toastmaster Bhima has no fillers and crutches. Kaushika has 1 hour. Toastmaster Atul has 2 hours, and Toastmaster Mukul does not have any fillers and crutches. Toastmaster Radha has 5 hours. Toastmaster Akshay does not have any crutches and fillers. Thank you.
Oh, that's impressive. Thank you for such amazing listener report. As an arc counter, please note that it's very important for an arc counter to listen to all the R's, clutch word that you utter. Imagine if somebody says up, it gets noted. Let's hear it from our Brahma Nazi. Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's welcome her with a huge round of applause. Toastmaster Kaushika. Over to you.
grammar Nazi. The use of the word of the day. Today, Toastmaster Nidhi, she had used the word reminiscent, and Toastmaster Atul had used the word twice, and Toastmaster Akshay also has used the word reminiscent. And some of the, so pointing out errors, I'm a very bad at pointing out errors, because, but I would like to, like list down some usages which can be improved. Mom told, Chavi told, you could say mom told, Chavi replied. We trash it, or maybe you could say we, always have thought process, because it was past, it could be phrased as always had the thought process. Food marked has a waste, it's not marked as has a waste, food marked has waste. Whenever food is getting waste could be corrected to whenever food gets wasted. And hate tuition teacher like anything, maybe like anything is, I hate the tuition teacher. So like anything is being a bit, I mean, it's not a good usage, I think. So for good usages, charioteer of Toastmaster, that was a good word to use. Procrastination is your thinking of something and you're delaying your process to do it. Lingering effect, poise, haphazards. So these are some good words which you have used in your speeches. So yeah, that's it for my.
Well, the term grammar Nazi has a different meaning to it. The moment she was called a grammar Nazi, she was looked differently. However, she definitely did a great job. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? May I now once again request for the voting form QR code to be rotated. Please note we are voting for a timer. I think both the speakers are qualified for today's speech.
Yes.
Yes? Are both the evaluators qualified for the speeches?
Yes.
Yes? Alright, so we are voting for the best role player, we are voting for the best auxiliary role player, we are voting for the best speaker, best speech evaluator, and the best improved speaker. This is a new category that we have put in basically. So as you listen to our speaker, you get to know who has improved better. There is a QR code here. There will be a QR code which will be rotated as well. We will let you know. Keep providing your votes. Now, as a presiding officer, I have an important announcement to make while you guys are voting. Are you all ready for it?
Yes.
All of you who were there towards the beginning of this meeting, I said we have 150 plus clubs all across Bangalore and North Karnataka. Remember that?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Now, did I also mention we are 7 months in this journey? Yes? All with me on this? There is a district conference that takes place once in a year. It's an annual event and it's called Coronation. This year, yes.
So we have just rotated the QR link and form. So can I know where is it?
Yours is different.
No.
Yes.
So may I request everybody to keep an eye on their WhatsApp group. May I request the team to please send the voting link on both the guest group as well as the members. There is a QR code that has been rotated. Whosoever has it, may I request you to please pass it on. And in case if somebody wishes to, please feel free to stand here and do it. It's alright. I'm only doing the announcement, guys. So we'll take care of that. Now, coming back to Coronation 2023. Okay, all with me on this right now. So 150 plus clubs, and there was a award criteria which was announced back then. And the announcement was very simple, that out of all the clubs under District 92, as I mentioned 150 plus, they said if your club will be able to request 5 members to attend Coronation 2023, you will get a Coronation Catalyst Award. Now when I'm saying 5 members to attend, you might look at me and smile and say, Mazayat, big deal, you have 30, 35 plus people over here, how does it matter? Let me tell you my friends, there was a fee involved in attending that particular event. And the fee was approximately roughly around 4,000, 4,500 for 2 days. We'll discuss about why the fee was important. But what is more important is that as a community club, everything we pay out of our pocket. It is difficult to convince people to be there. Not only our club won that award as a catalyst, and I do have the award by the way with me and I'll show you towards the later part, but we also achieved another award which was only awarded to top 3 clubs of District 92. Now take great pride in saying that we as Whitefield Toastmaster has won the award and we are the number 2 in the entire district of sending the highest number of members. Can I have a huge round of applause for that? Now without further delay, let me go ahead and announce the meeting winners for today. I hope you all have voted. Have you?
Yes.
Is there anybody who hasn't voted yet? Not okay. There are people who are still doing it. I'll still give you some more freedom to do so. I will also save some time by introducing the person who's going to conduct a very important segment for today's meeting. The segment is called Moments of Truth. It's nothing but you seeing your own reflection in the mirror. Now there are many times where you have done a great job, but there are times we haven't. We would love to listen from our existing member, charter or new, also the guest, to tell us your experience. A lot will be informed in detail by the person who will be conducting it. I will also provide the introduction to this person, but I'm still awaiting for your response so I can read the result. If there is, then okay. Anybody this side who hasn't done it? Please note, this is the Google form, we can see your name, so if you haven't done it, we'll catch you. Apart from that, while Satyendra is sending me the result, there is one more request that I have. Okay, raise of hand if you feel a feedback for a speaker is important. Raise of hand if you feel a feedback for a speaker is important. Everybody feels so? Bhima doesn't think so. Alright. I'm with Bhima on this. I just rose my hand just like that. If you feel that you heard the speaker very well and you absolutely love the speech, or you may want to tell the speaker that listen, if you could have maybe incorporate this feedback, it would have been better. Is it fair to give that feedback to the speaker? Fair enough? All with me? Yes? So what our team is doing, some people are still not raising hand. Is it fair to say that? Yeah? Speaker? My goodness. Please note this feedback will be anonymous. Now is it fair to say that? Yes. Okay, people are still like, what to do? Where are we right now? Towards the end of the meeting, there will be a QR code or a link which will be shared with you. We will request you to kindly provide your feedback after the meeting, because we understand the time that you would want to take may not be enough during the meeting, right? So now that I would like to go ahead and announce the meeting result. For meeting number 29, the best speaker of today's meeting, can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Akshay? Thank you. So much of energy. Thank you. Now we'll move on to the best speech evaluator. Please note, both the speakers and both the evaluators were eligible. The best speaker has been announced. The best speech evaluator for today's meeting is Toastmaster Atul. Thank you. I called her a Nazi and she minded. Today's meeting best auxiliary role player is Toastmaster Kaushika. And the best role player for today's meeting is somebody who carried that prop and we made sure that it happens and everybody flew through the entire meeting of those remnants of the memories that you have from your childhood. So the best role player for today's meeting goes to Toastmaster. Congratulations. Now let me go ahead and introduce the second segment for today's meeting. And this segment is important, as I mentioned already, that it's related to giving feedback, and we will have a person who will conduct this for you. This person is currently serving as a Vice President Education of our club, and he loves traveling and gardening. Master of Business Administration by education, banking professional, working in a Southeast Asian market. He's a happy-go-lucky person, focuses on living life moment by moment. May I request to conduct the moment of truth, Toastmaster Piyush. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazahir, for the kind words. Moment of truth. What is it all about? It's all about the feedback. How many of you have heard that feedback is the breakfast of champions? Great, many of us have heard. Let me explain you what it means. Feedback is a very crucial thing for any champion, not just champion, rather for everyone. At the start of a day, ideally we should plan our day based on the feedback, that what are the points we need to improve, how we need to perform, and everything else. So the complete planning, I believe, should be based on the feedback that we have received. And our club, the recently elected club officers have decided to start their term with the MOT, that is the feedback. So what it means is that whatever feedback that all the members, including the office bearer, would discuss and give, that would be collated and that would be acted upon by the office bearer as well as the members. This session is not only for the office bearers, it's also for the members to understand where we are going wrong, and with the support of the office bearer, make sure that we improve our club. To give you a brief, the moment of truth is divided into 6 sessions. I will circulate these sheets among everyone so that we can know what those 6 things are. It starts with first impression. So what we actually understand, first impression is all about what is the club's first impression. The second is membership orientation. It talks about how a new member feels in the club. The third theme is about fellowship, variety, and communication. It's all about how you treat your fellow members. Is your club communications and everything all right? And your meetings have a good variety and you enjoy it. The fourth one is program planning and meeting organization. This part is specifically about the 10:30 to 12:30. How the meeting was. Are you happy with the meeting or you need any change? And the next theme is membership strength. Thanks and kudos to DP membership, Raj. We have been doing a good strength of members as well as guests, and this thing will talk about that. The next one is achievement recognition. That is very crucial to everyone. Whenever you do anything good, you expect people to appreciate you. We expect people to recognize you. This theme has to do about it. Now these are the 6 themes. And for that, what we need to do is, we need to split ourselves into 6 groups. I believe we are roughly 35 people in town. One group can have 5 to 6 people. 7, right? And we will do that. I have shared the list of coordinators, group coordinators, and each group would be discussing one of those themes. Now how this discussion goes about, let me just brief everyone on that. We have 6 questions in each team. As a group, you have to answer those 6 questions on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. And on that, if any, you need to come up to an answer which is agreed by all the members, that we should rate, let's say 4 or let's say 3. If for any of the questions the answer is 3 or less, we request you to provide a proper justification as well as a way of how the club can improve. Just keep in mind that this is your club. Any feedback that you give should be from your heart, and all the feedback would be action. Now I'll just read about who are all the club coordinators who would be coordinating the group coordinators who would be coordinating the activities in the group. And for the first theme, which is first impression, it is Vaishak and Ujjwal. For the second theme, which is membership orientation, it is Akshay and Kaushika. Second theme, which is membership orientation. For the third theme, which is fellowship, variety and communication, it is Kevin and Atul. For the fourth theme, which is program planning and meeting organization, it is Satyendra and Aiden. For the fifth theme, membership strength, it is Raj and Abdindra. For the sixth theme, achievement recognition, it is Mazahir and Rama. Now I would request all of you to get up from your chairs and move your chairs so it forms a circle, 6 circle. And each coordinator I would request to make sure that you have equal number of members and homogeneous members in your group. So I request all of you key takeaways. So for the first group, first impression, I would like to invite Toastmaster Vaishak.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe a few more minutes, but I'll just take a head start for the afternoon. So we had a very productive session for Moment of Truth on the first impressions. So first impressions entails everything that happens when a member walks into Whitefield Toastmasters for the first time. Be it a guest or a member and then coming for the first time, this is what we had the concluding after the discussion. So the first point is, are the guests treated warmly and introduced to officers and members? So the feedback that we received from the guests were, yes, they were very happy when they walked in, and we received a rating of 4. Which one? Next. Okay, I'll just skip to the points which are positive and then we'll go back to the feedback. Okay, guests invited to address the club. So we received a very good positive feedback on this, because when guests are here, especially during the table topic sessions, they are encouraged to actually come up on the stage and present a speech. And we make sure that first it's the guests who come and speak, and then we give the opportunities to the members. So this way, the people who come new are introduced to what this club is all about, and we receive a rating of 4. Next, are the guests invited to join the club? And yes, we received a positive feedback, number 4, and we have we have given enough encouragement for the guests to join the club. Now going back to the negatives, the guest book and name tags are not provided, so the feedback is we should have a register where every member and guest can record their name and whether they are a member or a guest. This will help have a sort of attendance record and also to ensure that we know who the guests are, and a step forward into that, to have name tags for the guests so they can be easily identified. Next is a professionally arranged meeting room. The feedback was that the last row guests are not able to hear certain role takers who speak softly. So the arrangement can be to have lesser rows and more chairs spaced out. Convenient meeting location. Though we have a Google Map location, certain members have difficulty finding the venue. So more clearer directions after reaching Top and Town supermarket would be helpful. So these are the feedback that we have received, and we received a rating for 3 for the negative ones. Thank you.
Just a point note, everyone, that Whitefield Club has not many virtual trophies to its name. I would request, considering the time limit of 2 minutes, I would request everyone to stick to the points of improvement so that we can finish today's session on time. For next, we have membership orientation, Toastmaster Kaushik.
So I'll be addressing some of the concerns for the member orientation. So there are, we got ratings for most of the questions to be 4 and above. But there's one thing which was mentor for one-on-one assistance is assigned on time. Is the assignment and guidance delayed? So we got a rating of 3. When we had discussed, we had a rating of 3 for this. And one thing which was lacking is, I think, one of our Toastmasters mentioned that some of them have not been assigned a mentor. So, few members who joined earlier, we were assigned on time, but I think some of them have still not been assigned a mentor. And one more point which was raised is is like you're taking roles and you're not giving the manuals are being shared, but we need a link to something which would tell how the roles, what are the responsibilities of the role, like whether the timer or our counter or grammarian. For new members becoming who are converting from guests to members, they are little clueless about what the role, the responsibilities of the role is. So that was one of the concerns. And so apart from this, for the others, I would just read out the questions. Formal induction, including presentation of member pin and manuals are given. This was mostly everybody said it was done. And so we got a rating of 4. Mentor for one-on-one assistance is assigned on time. Is the assignment and guidance delayed? This, some of them mentioned they were not being assigned a mentor. So we got a rating of 3. Education program and recognition system is discussed. How the educational program helps develop speaking and leadership skills is explained. So everybody mentioned that this was done, the education was done, so it's 4. And learning needs assessed. Survey all new members for learning needs. This is again a rating of 4. So these are most of the concerns were mainly addressed. Thank you.
Now from the third theme, which is fellowship, variety and communication, I would like to invite Toastmaster Atul to summarize.
Okay, on the fellowship point, so as Toastmasters, we are lucky to have something deeper than relationships, and which is in the form of fellowship. For the first point, we know the first impression makes the last impression, and the guest needs to be greeted warmly. I heard that before my joining, we used to have a conducting session induction session for the guests who have come for the first time or the second time to introduce themselves to the club, and I think that is not happening now. So that needs to be done. That is a point of improvement. For the second point, enjoyable educational meetings. In my opinion and in my fellows' opinion also, I think we all have the meetings which are very educational in a sense and enjoyable at the same time. We had an educational session also conducted by Toastmaster Akshay, where he also told us about how to conduct an evaluation, and that was very enjoyable as well. I think that can be done more. That is a point of improvement. Thirdly, regularly scheduled social events. The getting together that we had on the Sushi Resort, that was a very getting together for a very new club. I think we can have a round of applause for that. Second, we also need to have like regular lunch sessions. We have not come to a determined point on that. We need to come on a decision for that. Fourthly, we need to participate in area, district and international events. We have Toastmaster Vaishak who participated and have had won an area level contest. We had distinguished Toastmaster Mazahir who won on the district level, and I think more participation of all the members will lead our club to more prominence. Fifth point, inter-club events. We had a roundtable meeting with other clubs. We had a Palm Meadows Toastmaster Club meeting as well, and we have, like me also, Toastmaster Atul, I have attended many sessions in other clubs as well. I think all other people can also do that. And lastly, club newsletter and website updated regularly. I think this is not being done right now. We need, as an extension of the fifth point, we need to reach our name to the other clubs as well, and other people in general. So that can be done through club newsletter and website.
Thank you, Toastmaster. For our next theme, which is program planning and meeting organization, we have Toastmaster Arpita. Who is the one club leading this? Okay, sorry. My mistake.
Okay, good morning everyone. Good morning. I'll be taking over program planning and meeting organization. So our first question is program and agenda publicized in advance. Okay, just before that, our group consisted of 2 experienced Toastmasters and 2 fairly new Toastmasters. So we got a even. Now, for program agenda and publicized in advance, we were fairly satisfied and we rated it on the higher end. Now the second one, all members know their responsibilities for each meeting and are prepared to carry out assignments. We were satisfied, but an area of improvement for this can be this. Perhaps, now this is for VPE, perhaps provide videos of accomplished goal takers to provide a benchmark reference. Moving on to the third one. All speeches and projects are from the Toastmasters education program pathways. Okay, I'm sorry. All members know their responsibilities. Okay, I'm sorry. All speeches and projects are from the Toastmasters education program and pathways. Now, for this one, during induction process of each member, again an area of improvement, during induction process of each member, every member needs briefing on the significance of pathways. Now this was on the fairly low end, this needs considerable improvement. Now the next question, meeting begins and ends on time. Only in the case wherein new members who are new to a role, they might tend to stretch on the roles sometimes, but apart from that, we are fairly on time, we perform considerably well there. Now, next question, creative table topics and activities are introduced. Table topics here need to be more intuitive. We need to create an environment wherein each guest or member needs to feel that in their mind, I need to go there and I need to try out this. We need to create that environment. And finally, the last question, are speech evaluations helpful with the project objectives and the speaker's learning goals? Now for this one, this is my personal feedback. We didn't get to this yet, unfortunately. Introduce a Google Drive link. Now the contents of this can be the speech evaluators sheet, the speech recording, an Excel sheet with whoever that the speaker wants to share, because feedback cannot be concluded with one person, it can be taken from n number of people. Now the benefit of this is repeated areas of improvement can be eliminated, thereby we can be efficient, the speaker can be efficient. Thank you.
Now for the next theme of membership strength, I would like to invite Toastmaster Raj.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'll just take 55 seconds to wrap this up. The roles assigned in the meeting can be explained more in details so that people who are coming here for the first time do not get nervous and are in a tricky situation on what to speak next. We all understand where I'm coming from. Second is, for the meeting to begin on time, members needs to come in before the start time. I, as part of the VP membership team, have been observing this. Guests can come in since they are first timers or second timer, they can hiccups, But people who are members, I would request each one of you to be here on time. That is one suggestion, so that we can start the meeting on time and we can conclude in the allocated time. Third is, we can also look at adding more auxiliary roles from the current ones at the club. Looking at different clubs, what we are doing right now, we are going on the right path, but we can add few more auxiliary roles. I will share the roles and details with the team itself. And one more important thing is assign the role for the entire month at the start of the month. This is something which is tricky, but we can start assigning roles for 2 weeks, so that, and we can have a primary and a secondary person. So if a primary person is unable to attend, we have someone to fill the slot. Thank you.
And for the next, which is achievement, I would like to invite Toastmaster Anil to give us something.
First, I'll go to the points where we are good at. Award applications immediately submitted to World Headquarters. So we have received rating 5 to this, which is currently happening. And member achievements recognized with ceremony. So members have given rating 5 at this point as well. Club, district and international leaders recognized. So whenever there is a area director or district level leader is coming, so we are recognizing them actually with their credentials. So which is happening. So we have given rating 5 for this. Club and member achievements publicized. So whether it is a WhatsApp group or whether it is in our YouTube channel or in our Instagram accounts, so we are giving advertisements and publicity. Enough publicity is given. So we have given rating 5 for this point as well. Now coming to the points where there is a improvement required. Progress chat displayed and maintained. So this is a feedback to VP Education. So which is not happening currently. So it requires to be done. It needs to be done. And second point, where there is an improvement required, DCP used for planning and recognition. So distinguished club program. Sorry if I'm. That's the correct application. So which is not happening currently at the members level. Maybe it is happening at the exco officers level. It is happening. So it needs to be improved. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anil, and thank you everyone for participating in the feedback. And this was actually really eye-opener for all of us that we are lacking on lot many points, and we'll definitely try and improve and come back to you being better and being strong. And with this, I would like to conclude our moments of truth, and I would like to invite our next master of ceremonies, who will be conducting the new member induction session. That guy is another pillar to the club, and he is responsible for the strength that we see in this club. I'd like to invite Toastmaster Raj for the next.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Okay, very important and the first time we are doing at Whitefield Toastmaster. Induction ceremony for new members. When I joined this club in the month of October, I still remember, the occupancy was not even on the first 2 seats. That is when I spoke to the president of this club, distinguished Toastmaster Mazahir Hussain, and we decided to work on the goals on which the base on which the club has been built. And going forward, I took up this role as a VP membership, and I am very proud to say that in my first term of the VP membership, we were able to add 17 people on the floor. We started the next term effective 1st of July, and this time I was given a bigger team from the entire ExCom committee, and I would like to tell you that so far for this term itself, in the first 15 days, we have added 7 people on the floor. As we speak right now, we are adding 1 more person who will be inducted right now live on the floor itself. So without further ado, I would just like to start the induction ceremony. So fellow Toastmasters, it is now our duty and privilege to induct all the new members into the Whitefield Toastmasters Club. This is an important occasion both for these new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leadership skills, and we now have an opportunity to help them learn, grow, achieve their goals. I will now call on our new members. Please withhold your applause until the ceremony is completed. I would like to first invite on stage Akshay Srivastav. Guys, can we have the applause going, please? Anas Kumar. Atul Kumar. Piyush Modi. Vijay Kapoor. Abhinda. Eden. Piyush Mohammed. Can we have everybody here? Can we have
Stand up, you're not taking a
First
picture.
stand up.
Stand up,
We'll
please,
take
but
a share.
squeeze in. Squeeze in, stand up, you're not taking a picture, stand.
I would call out the names. I would request the person to take one step to the front. Akshay Srivastav. I, Akshay Srivastav, belong to Meerut in Uttar Pradesh. I am an aerospace engineer. I've done my graduation from UPES Dehradun. I'm working in the aero navigation domain for the last 7 years. My hobbies are playing badminton, volleyball, blogging, swimming, etc. Right now, I'm learning trading and developing the habit of reading every day. The reason for joining Toastmasters is to master my communication skills, network with people. Can we have a round of applause for that? Sukesh, can I have you in front? I, Sukesh, an aerospace engineer by profession, hail from Kerala. I am a runner, and the reason I joined Toastmasters is to improve my public speaking and communication skills. I'm Yogi, product manager by profession. I love music. I'm trained in Carnatic music. I hail from Kerala and living in Bangalore for the last 15 years. The reason I joined Toastmasters is to improve my public speaking. Thank you. Nidhi. I'm Nidhi, originally from Uttarakhand, but raised in Maharashtra. I graduated in biotechnology and then pursued an MBA from Pune University. With 5 years of experience, I currently work as an account manager at Kantar. Besides my profession, I enjoy cooking, painting and gardening. I joined Toastmasters to improve my leadership skills. I am Ujjwal Kapoor from Delhi, currently working as a business analyst at ABI. I spend my spare time riding and exploring new places to eat. The reason I joined Toastmasters Club is to improve my public speaking and leadership skills. Thank you. I am Bhupendra, an IT consultant, book lover, spiritual seeker, and a solo traveler. Navigating the realms of technology, literature, and spirituality, I embark on a quest of personal growth and enlightenment. Through my diverse passion and experience, I seek and unravel the mysteries of life and inspire others on their own unique journeys. I joined Toastmasters Club to improve my public speaking, communication skills, and leadership development. Thank you. I, Aiden Anil Varghese, an aspiring investment banker and performance-driven individual built upon the pillars that cognite learning and substantial communication enables oneself to thrive. The reason I joined Toastmasters Club is to improve my public speaking and leadership skills. I am currently serving as treasurer for this club. Thank you. I, Piyush Mohanty, an ambitious newfield figuring out life goals who loves luxury and nature at the same time. The reason I joined Toastmasters Club is to improve my presentation, public speaking, and leadership skills. Thank you. Radha Kashinathan. I am Radha from Bhopal, born. I am Radha. I am Bhopal born and Ahmedabad raised of Tamil descent. Love painting and drawing, occasional cook, regular blood donor, working as a project manager for a leading FMG client. I joined Toastmasters to improve my leadership and public speaking skills. Thank you. I am Marpita, graduated from Mumbai University, working in an IT company as custom software engineer. Beside work, I am a trained Bharatanatyam dancer and cricket reader, and also like cooking. I joined Toastmasters to improve my leadership skills and public speaking skills. Thank you. I am Dima Shankar, hailing from North Karnataka. I am a BCA first year student. My purpose to join the Toastmasters is to improve my communication and leadership skills. Besides this, my hobbies are playing cricket and watching movies. I joined Toastmasters Club to improve my communication and leadership skills along with my training and development. Thank you. vibrant city of Ranchi. I have been in the IT industry for the past 12 years with my professional journey centered in Bangalore. My passion is to explore new things with no bounds. My purpose to join the Toastmasters is to improve my communication, leadership skills along with training and development. Thank you. I am Monsoon. I am currently working as a payroll supervisor in Bangalore. Like to travel and explore new places. Join Toastmasters to enhance my communication and good network. Thank you. I would like to call on stage Jayesh. Please come on the stage. Jayesh, would you come to the center, please? Jayesh has been visiting our club for the last few meetings, and after a long discussion with Jayesh, he finally decided to join Toastmasters. As we speak, he's joining us today on the floor. So, I, Jayesh Minari, I am originally from Nagpur, Maharashtra. I completed my BTech last year from NIT Nagpur. Currently, I am working as a software engineer in JPMC. My hobbies are playing chess and badminton. I have joined Toastmasters to better my communication and leadership skills. Thank you, Jayesh. With that, dear members, we are joining a worldwide organization that has helped millions of people learn to communicate more effectively. As a member of the YFI Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. You will become a part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Mr. Vice President, Education. Have these new members been given an opportunity to discuss their needs and goals with the club?
On behalf of the Vice President Education team, I, Mizahir Hussain, as the President, affirm that apart from Jayesh, every new member has been given an opportunity to discuss about their goals.
Have you been told how the Toastmaster program works and informed on the many benefits they will receive as well as the obligation to membership?
Yes, they've been.
Who have been assigned as the mentor of these new members?
So currently, as our club is new, we have mentors from within club, aspiring as well as current, and from outside. For the benefit of all, I would like to read the names of the existing mentors that we have. 3 of them, including myself, are currently sitting in this room among the member. Shilpa, Anand, Ramarao, Mazahir, Piyush, Rashmi, Shaikat, Gopinath, Tejas, Satya, Neeta, Akshay, Sarla, Sijo, and aspiring Kevin. And may I request Sijo and Kevin to please stand up as a mentor. These people have been assigned as mentors for these individuals.
As an experienced Toastmaster, you have been asked to help these new members to get off to a good start. Do you accept this responsibility and pledge to share the knowledge and experience with our new members so that they can immediately begin to benefit from the Toastmaster membership?
Yes, we do.
Membership in this club and in Toastmaster International is a privilege that carries with many rewards. Yet it also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in the spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently towards your own self-development, evaluate other speeches in a spirit of support and sharing, assist the club in reaching its goals and remain positive. Do you agree on the same?
Yes.
In the presence of my fellow members of Whitefield Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligations to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the projects outlined in the Toastmaster education programs, to participate actively in the club activities, to evaluate others in positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationship with my fellow membership, and to bring other new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of the Toastmaster. Do you agree and affirm on this?
Yes.
We, the members of Whitefield Toastmasters Club, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development, to provide you with positive, helpful evaluation, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere. to give you opportunities to help others and to make your Toastmasters membership a rewarding and a fulfilling experience. Can I get a yes from the entire membership team on my right?
Yes.
Thank you and have a wonderful day and have a wonderful journey with Whitefield Toastmasters Club. Thank you. I would now, okay. I need to read them. Somebody mentioned a point of induction. So I hope this is what induction is, and we will try to up the ante next time. I would like to wrap up today's meeting. Thank you for joining, and I hope to see you on the next meeting. With the gavel, I would now like to conclude meeting number 29. I would request everyone to come this side of the stage so that